Hey everyone, as a quick forward before the video begins, I recorded this video with a sore throat, and if I sound worse than normal in this video, that's why. Anyway guys, I'm feeling better now, and sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Careful. I heard Andros gave his troops Ligma.
Ligma? What's Ligma?
Slippy, no! Ligma balls!
What's your favorite Nintendo franchise? Maybe you grew up with Mario or Pokemon. Maybe you like something with a bit more action like Zelda or Metroid. Maybe something a bit more niche like Xenoblade or F-Zero. Or maybe you like to blast stuff with furry animals and spaceships with Star Fox. A series that many people hold close to them. A series many people seem to hold in high regard. A series that has inspired a lot of fan art. And a series with a depressing history. Star Fox is often seen as one of Nintendo's bigger franchises, or at least recognizable. From its debut in 1993 to 2021, there's been a total of 8 main games, many cancelled projects, lots of behind-the-scenes trouble, and a lot of wasted potential. As of the making of this video in 2021, the series has been really quiet, with the last main game being 2016's Star Fox Zero, and Star Fox's appearance in 2018's Starlink. So what happened? In this video, I'll go over the history of Star Fox, share some of its troubled history, and piece together what killed Star Fox. Before I do that, feel free to blast that subscribe button and the bell as well to get notified whenever I make a new video. 2 simple clicks will help me out and give you more internet context. Also hit me up on the social media like Twitter and Instagram at ZManx. I'm also now on TikTok, and with that out of the way, let's begin.
Why go to the next level when you can go light years beyond? You are Fox McCloud.
The series started in earnest with Star Fox 1 on the Super Nintendo, developed by Argonaut and Nintendo EAD, with the assist of the Super Effects chip for the Super Nintendo. With the Super Effects chip, it allowed the Super Nintendo to produce 3D graphics without add-ons such as the Sega CD. Star Fox 1 isn't much to look at these days, but back in 1993, this must have been crazy to see done on consoles. 3D games weren't all that super common back then, especially on the 16-bit systems. Hell, 1993 is the first year of Virtua Fighter, but to Star Fox's detriment, it does not have Jeffrey fucking McWild, so which game is better? Obvious pick there. If you could get past the frame rate, Star Fox 1 plays really well in 2021, and I recommend giving it a go. Star Fox 1 was followed up by Star Fox 2. Oh, wait a minute. Star Fox 2 was advertised pretty heavily, but never released when the Super Nintendo was still in production. So why is that? Well, it would have come out in 1995, a year before the Nintendo 64 released. Nintendo didn't want the 64 to seem weak if the Super Nintendo could manage a full 3D game before the launch of Nintendo's epic 64-bit system. Plus, there was a falling out between Nintendo and Argonaut that led to Argonaut severing ties with Nintendo, but thankfully they did make Croc, which I really do like. I hope they remake that game. All this meant that Star Fox 2 got stuck in limbo until 2017 when it released on the Super Nintendo Classic. It's a shame Star Fox 2 never released properly back in the Super Nintendo's heyday. It would have really took the series in an interesting direction. You had a 6-person squad, real-time strategy elements, permadeath, transforming mechs, and the debut of Star Wolf. A lot of the ideas would be used in future games, but we'll talk about later games later. Since Star Fox 2 never officially released until 2017, Star Fox 1 ended the first timeline of Star Fox. Thankfully, this wasn't the end of the Star Fox franchise, as Nintendo and Rare would cook up something special for the 64. Even though Star Fox 2 didn't get properly released, we did get a new game in the franchise, Star Fox 64, developed by Rare. And man, what a title for the 64. You had a big box that included the Rumble Pack, you had fully voiced gameplay, huge levels, lots of replayability, and a lot of action to keep you busy for days on end. Many Nintendo fans put this as one of the best 64 games, and I don't disagree. Star Fox 64 was well received and sold very well. Between Star Fox 64 and Fox being a featured character in the Super Smash Bros. Series, it elevated Star Fox to being one of Nintendo's premier franchises. So with Star Fox 64 being a major hit, there'd be a sequel, right? Kind of. Star Fox Adventures was the next game in the franchise, released in 2002. I can't get much into Adventures without talking about its original form, Dinosaur Planet. Dinosaur Planet is a curious game with a bit of history to it. Rare started development on Dinosaur Planet after Diddy Kong Racing as an original IP for the 64, and judging by the gameplay, it would have been one of the most ambitious games for the platform. However, it would have been released very late into the 64's life, and it was moved to the GameCube. Well, ain't that just a furry dildo dick slap to Star Fox 2's face? You'll hear different theories online about what happened between Rare and Nintendo, but this is what I think is the generally accepted theory. Nintendo saw a lot of similarities between Dinosaur Planet and Star Fox, and thought that Dinosaur Planet would be a better selling title if it was rebranded to a Star Fox game. While Rare wasn't happy about this decision, they ultimately agreed to rebrand Dinosaur Planet to Star Fox Adventures, moved it to the GameCube, and released it in 2002. Curiously enough, when the Dinosaur Planet ROM leaked, there actually was Star Fox content in that game, so who knows what Rare had cooking up. With all that drama aside, how is Star Fox Adventures? I might be biased here, as I did have this game back in the day, and this was my first Star Fox title. I really liked it. I like the adventure aspect, I like exploring the planets, and I like shooting things in between going from world to world. It was a fun game, and in my opinion, it has some of the best graphics on the GameCube, and it definitely has a lot of yiffing. Leave a like and a comment if Crystal awakened your inner fursona. Look, I'm gonna be front with you guys. I'm not even a furry, but I would still bring Crystal. Don't lie, you would too. Star Fox Adventures was Rare's last game under Nintendo, and what a game to go out on. Like I said, I like Adventures well enough, but I can see why fans of Star Fox 64 might have been upset. Star Fox 64 was a traditional, fairly straightforward rail shooter, and now we got Zelda, but with furry animals. If you change the characters around, Adventures could have been an original title, which it almost was. And not only that, this game definitely has some scars of its troubled history, especially at the end of the game where the title just kind of stops. Still, if you can find Star Fox Adventures, I recommend giving it a try. The following game in the franchise was Star Fox Assault, developed by Namco for the GameCube. It was okay. It returned to more of an arcade shooter with on-foot third-person shooting elements, and some people liked it, some people didn't. Others just bought it for the multiplayer. I thought it was alright and worth a rental. Despite being a late release GameCube title, it did sell well enough to be a player's choice game. Namco also proposed a Star Fox arcade game, but that never got the green light. And now we get to the first true series killer, Star Fox Command. It was released in 2006 on the DS2, alright sales, and generally positive reviews. I remember many of my friends back in the day having Command and enjoying it well enough. I'm playing it here on the Wii U and it's okay. Having it only being played by touch controls is a bit weird, but you do get used to it. What I don't like is the time limits for the battles. That is a huge pain in the ass. I reckon that Command was a bit more polarizing than I remember, as the series just kind of stopped after Command. I know some fans took umbrage with the story with the multi-endings and none of them really being satisfying. Others didn't like the exclusive touchscreen controls, or probably the most likely case, the sales of Command weren't as good as Nintendo wanted them to be. Whatever the case, Command was the last original game for a few years in the Star Fox franchise and ended the second timeline of Star Fox. Star Fox went quiet after Command, but it's not to say the series was totally out of Nintendo's mind. Star Fox 64 3D on the 3DS was a nice gift to fans. There were a few projects that were happening at Nintendo, but they didn't get far off the ground. Star Fox Musa was proposed, but Nintendo denied it. A Wii game was in development, but that got moved to a new title. A claymation series for Netflix was also in the works, but a break in NDA killed that and several other Nintendo/Netflix projects. Sakurai's flying game idea was originally a Star Fox title, but decided that Kid Icarus was a better suit for his vision. However, after years of silence, a new hope arose for Star Fox in 2014. A Star Fox for the Wii U, and it's going to be developed by Platinum Games? That sounds tits. Platinum has made some of the most insane, over-the-top brain melters of games like Metal Gear Revengeance, Vanquish, and Bayonetta.
Hope so. You'd be a little conspicuous just walking the streets.
Relax, Kev. I'll blend right in.
So that means this game is going to be fucking fire, and it wasn't. I did a review of this game back in 2018 you can enjoy, but to make a long story short, Star Fox Zero isn't good. After playing a bit of Star Fox 64, then playing Zero, it's clear that Zero was just the same thing as 64, but in HD, with better voice acting and motion controls. Using the gamepad to aim the reticle sounded like a good idea in theory, but in practice it made the game a chore to play. It does offer some accurate shots, but splitting your focus between the gamepad and the TV is very annoying. Not only that, the enemies aren't really that threatening. The game just didn't have the same replayability as Star Fox 64. Even if you took out the motion controls, the game moves slow, and the new ideas such as the chicken walker and the drop ship thing didn't make Zero any more enjoyable. Star Fox Zero had a mixed reception to say the least, and landed on more than one of worst games of 2016 list. In essence, Star Fox Zero was a glorified tech demo for the Wii U when the Wii U was already dead in the water. Star Fox Zero bombed, no one bought it, the people who did buy it were pretty mixed on it, and as of the making of this video, no port for the Switch has been announced, unlike many other Wii U titles. Still waiting on that Xenoblade Chronicles X port, by the way. Star Fox Zero also launched with Star Fox Guard, and I didn't bother playing that game. So it seemed like that was that for Star Fox, other than the official launch of Star Fox 2 for the Super Nintendo Classic. However, Ubisoft managed to pull some strings and get Star Fox and friends to star in the Switch port of Starlink for the Switch. I never played it because fuck Ubisoft, but the people who did buy Starlink seemed to like it well enough. Unfortunately, Starlink wasn't the best seller Ubisoft wanted it to be, as it came out way past the Toys to Life fad fell out of flavor. The Switch version did sell a little bit better, but it didn't set the world on fire and Starlink just kind of faded away. And with that, Star Fox's potential last chance at a comeback faded away with it too. Other than legacy content in Smash Ultimate and that rumor that Retro was working on a Star Fox Racer, which I'm pretty sure isn't happening, the series has been quiet. So, what killed Star Fox? One thing, Command was pretty polarizing among fans, and two, Star Fox Zero was kind of cheeks and bombed harder than Hindenburg. While Zero and Command definitely did damage to the brand, there's a bigger problem here. No one knows what to do with the franchise. Nintendo has always been obsessed with new, and here's the thing about new, it isn't good or bad on its own. But with Star Fox, the attempts to bring new ideas to the franchise have either been polarizing or just bad ideas in the first place. However, these ideas can be refined with sequels, but Nintendo and whoever is working on the new title just throw out the baby with the bathwater with each new Star Fox game. As a result, Star Fox never got over Star Fox 64, which many people do hold as one of the best games on the system and one of Nintendo's better games. And it feels like a lot of the games since Star Fox 64 have been trying to recapture that magic and not doing a good job. Not only that, I listed a lot of developers in this video, and when you have so many developers working on so many different games, you're not going to have a unified vision or direction for the franchise. Even Miyamoto-san would say as much. Here's my advice, Nintendo. People just want something simple from Star Fox. They just want to cruise around with their furry friends and have fun blowing stuff up. Just stick with that formula and evolve that and you'll have gold. Still, the furry fan art hasn't slowed down, so I guess there is hope. One thing I didn't note in the video proper was sales. Ever since Adventure, the games were starting to sell less and less and less. And I think Command just wasn't the big seller Nintendo wanted it to be. The core issue is, each game tried to do something new when people wanted something similar to Star Fox 64. And each new idea just kind of alienated more and more people without bringing any new people in. And that's why the series died off the first time. And then when they tried to bring it back for the Wii U, it flopped because the Wii U was a flop. But please play Xenoblade Chronicles X, that game is fantastic. One thing I should know is that for a franchise with only 8 games, the timeline has had 3 timelines. 3 timelines! That is some comic book level bullshit. And finally, Star Fox as a whole was just never that popular in Japan, so there's that. But honestly, this video was just kind of depressing. Like, you think such a simple concept will lead to some amazing games, and we got that one amazing game on the 64, but it seems like Nintendo just couldn't replicate that success, and every time they tried to replicate it, it just didn't work out. And now we have that one great game, and a bunch of others that people don't really seem to care about all that much, so there's my take. But anyway guys, let me know down there in the comments, what's your favorite Star Fox game, and why is it Star Fox 64, or what other IP would you revive from Nintendo? I'm gonna go with Kid Icarus because I really loved Uprising. And while you're down there, make sure you hit the bell as well for notifications on future videos. Follow me on the social media, Twitter, Instagram @ZMinx, and now TikTok, and I'll see you in the next video. Later everybody, take care.